Let's go to Victoria now. Trudy McIntosh is travelling with the Prime Minister today. What's the PM got planned today, Trudy? Any chance he's going to be standing side by side with Jacinta Allen there in Deakin?
Yeah, Laura, no sign of the Victorian Premier yet. We're here inside a childcare centre. We'll just show you around here. We're causing a bit of chaos. The Prime Minister's inside the room there with the cameras and some of the children and, crucially, early childhood educators. Why? Because today Labor is promising to advocate for a boost to award wages for more than around 3 million workers. It includes early childhood educators who are on award wages, cleaners and retail workers as well. This will be part of Labor's submission to the Fair Work Commission as they await this ruling on award wages. It's an upping of the ante of what Labor has put forward to the independent umpire in the past, where it's previously used this language about not wanting workers to go backwards. Today it talked about an economically responsible increase to wages. But the criticism coming from the opposition already is that there's no dollar figure or percentage being put on it, although at this stage we still don't know what the coalition would advocate for before the independent umpire either. The Employment Minister, Murray Watt, is over my shoulder, but earlier this morning he was on Sky News speaking about what this will mean for workers.
The decade before we came to office under the coalition saw the lowest productivity growth decade that we'd seen in Australia for 60 years. So it is going to take a bit of time to turn that around. What we don't agree with is the argument from Peter Dutton and the coalition that to lift productivity you've got to cut Australians' wages and conditions. That's the American approach. It doesn't belong here in Australia.
Today's the first day for the Prime Minister to be visiting Victoria during this campaign. There's a lot of seats for Labor to sandbag in and around suburban Melbourne. We saw a little bit of that yesterday as the Prime Minister was in the seat of Corangamite, which is around Geelong. But where we are right now is actually a Liberal seat held by the frontbencher Michael Sukkar. He's been in Parliament for more than a decade, but the margin is certainly incredibly narrow for him, just 0.1%. But this has been a seat that Labor has tried to grab many times. Don't forget Bill Shorten, when he was leader in an election, came to Deakin on day one, hoping that they'd be able to flip their seat, and that didn't eventuate. The Prime Minister hoping that'll be different this time around. Earlier this morning I caught up with some voters in Melbourne as to what they think of Anthony Albanese.
Like if I want to pick between Dutton or Anthony Albanese, I will pick Anthony Albanese. I hope he can, fix up his act.
Oh Lord, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the alternative is not to think about.
I prefer Peter Dutton.
And why's that?
I feel like he's going to be more direct, not as beating around the bush about making up stuff.
I think it's anyone's game. I'm a bit worried for Albo, to be honest, and I think Dutton's move to slash the SRO funding is pretty strategic.
So just a bit of campaign colour here behind me, Laura. The Prime Minister still ensconced in that wall of cameras inside all the microphones to catch every little moment and any slight slip-up or awkward thing that a kid may say to him. You just never know. You can see here as well the Foreign Minister, Penny Wong, and Murray Watt, Labor Minister as well. That's been a big part of Anthony Albanese's campaign strategy, Laura, flanking himself in his senior ministers. He wants Australian voters to compare the two teams, that of Mr Dutton and his front bench and Anthony Albanese and his Labor team. We should hear from the Prime Minister very soon.
Trudy, really interesting that you say that with the team beside him, because he's done that with strong Labor premiers, but also members of his front bench team, hasn't he? I spoke to Gordon Reid, the local member here in Robertson this morning. I asked him what Anthony Albanese's biggest strength was, and rather than any individual strength, he says, well, it's the strength of his front bench. I don't know whether that's an endorsement or not, but I guess an endorsement for Labor, but not exactly the PM himself. But yeah, it's really interesting to see that, because obviously in the last couple of days, Trudy, we've seen Anthony Albanese wanting to just keep all the focus on Peter Dutton. Just quickly before I let you go and we get to Peter Dutton, what's your best guess of what time we're going to hear from Anthony Albanese?
It can't be far off. He's been inside the room with the kids for about 5 to 10 minutes. So the waiting press pack will spin around Brendan waiting here. They've been waiting very dutifully with their spots there to get the opening question. But yeah, well, fascinating to see what the Prime Minister's response to what Peter Dutton told Andrew Clennell about the difference in the relationship with Trump and how strident he's willing to be in standing up to our biggest security partner.
Indeed. All right, Trudy, we'll let you elbow your way into the front of that press pack and we'll see and hear from you very soon.